Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wilby High School. We have a matchup between the Waterbury Career Academy and the Wilby Wildcats. Last time that Wilby played was against Kennedy High School, where they came out victorious. And last time they played in this building, they played with a lot of energy, electrified this crowd. But towards the end, they fell a little bit short as they were defeated by Holy Cross. But today, they come out 3-4, 1-2 in the league, looking for their second win in the league, while Waterbury Career Academy coming in at 3-3 and 2-3 in the league. My name is James Evans, presentation of DET Sports Media, saying welcome to Wilby High School. It should be an exciting matchup between these two teams as we get ready for this game to begin between these two teams. You can see that the Wilby Wildcats have been playing with a lot of energy, being very energetic, and it's definitely a very good sight to see if you're a fan of Wilby. Waterbury Career Academy coming in at 3-3, looking to go above 500 in this young season. Main objective for the Wilby Wildcats is to keep that fire, keep that energy, keep the entire crowd engaged throughout the entire game. At one point, they were down by 17, but they were able to come back to take the lead, but then they fell short. Although they were able to come out victorious against Kennedy High School, let's see if they're able to keep that up here in tonight's game.
Good evening. Welcome to Wilby High School and the Radio Prime Gymnasium.
And we'll get ready to announce the starting five for both teams.
We, the NBL athletes, ask that everyone demonstrate appropriate conduct for the home players, spectators, and officials. Also, all student athletes should support the positive and encouraging environment in all aspects of the game, while maintaining the values of integrity, respect, cooperation, and honesty. Thank you, and enjoy the game. Good luck for both teams. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the WCA, Varsity. Senior, number 1, Jonathan Edwards.
Here comes the starting five for Waterbury Career Academy is number 1, Jonathan Edwards.
Number 20, Daryl Combs.
And it's going to be senior number 20, Daryl Combs. Zion Lott, number 2.
Junior, number 24, David Stallworth. Senior, number
Wahlberg.
3, Lawrence Lazaro.
Lazaro.
The Spartans are coached by Roman O'Leary, assisted by Martin Fabio.
And this is the starting five for the Waterbury Career Academy. It's Edwards, Lott, Lazaro, Coombs, and Wahlberg.
Senior, number 2.
Here comes the seniors for Wilby Wildcats. Is number 2, Calvin Hicks, will be starting.
Senior, number 22, Raekwon James.
Raekwon James, number 22, will also be starting.
Junior, number 11, Jeremiah Tripp.
Jeremiah Tripp, number 11.
Senior, number 23, Jonathan Mateus.
Jonathan Mateus.
Junior, number 35, Justin
And
Parker.
Justin Parker. So that is both starting fives.
Assisted by Kathy Iverson and Kristen Nicarado. Please stand and remove your hats
As we're going to honor America here.
with the playing of the national anthem.
As we honor America, we'll slowly get underway between these two teams. Once again, Waterbury Career Academy coming in at 3-3, 2-3 in the league. A win for them would make them 4-3, and being at 500 for the league record. And for Wilby, they come in at 3-4. They're 1-2 in the league as they look to start a winning streak between these two teams. Both teams are on the court, and we'll get ready to be underway. Here, both teams are officially into this game. There's going to be Parker and Edwards on the tip-off, and tip-off is going to belong to the Wildcats as we are officially getting underway. James with the ball, trip, Hicks, left hand, and it's good. Calvin Hicks gets the first points of the game for the Wilby Wildcats. And on the other side is going to be Waterbury Career Academy as there's Edwards. Over to Lazaro. Lazaro shoots, and it's good for Lazaro. And on the other side is going to be Wilson loses it. Hicks on the other end is able to break it in. 4 points for Wilby. All 4 points coming from Calvin Hicks in the paint. On the other side is going to be Edwards who loses it. Rebound by Jeremiah Tripp. And traveling is going to go the other way. Just a little underway, 45 seconds into this game. Waterbury Career Academy throwing it in. High toss, Edwards is able to grab it. Edwards, long three, and it's off. Looked like Coombs tried to get it, but instead it's James who grabs it. James falls down, loses it, and goes out of bounds. It's going to be Waterbury Career Academy's ball. The Spartans with a 1-possession lead very early into this game. Lazaro moves to his right, passes over to Lott. Lott drives in, back to Lazaro. Lazaro shoots a three, and it's off. And there is Parker with the rebound. James tosses it over, but way too high of a pass, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to be on Hicks. It's his first personal foul and the first team foul for Wilby. It's going to be Wahlberg who's going to throw it in over to Lott. Lott thought about it, over to Lazaro. Both teams averaging about 65 to 70 points a game, and a long three is good for Coombs. James with the ball. James loses it, and it's going to be a turnover as Wahlberg. Then on the other side, he loses it there. Parker is there to snag it. Hicks with the ball, 4 points for Wilby, and he's got all 4. Parker loses the ball, and it's going to be another turnover. You don't want to have way too many turnovers in this game. It's going to be proven costly. Edwards trying to figure out a play. His team up by 1. And a three for Lott is off, and Mateus is there with the rebound. Tripp in the game. He didn't play in last Friday's game, but he's back in the starting 5 as Tripp loses it, and looked like he tried to pass it there, but the player went down on that. Edwards loses it. Lott drives in, shoots, short, and Hicks with the rebound. Hicks with the rebound, and he loses the ball there. And there's Coombs, who couldn't get the second chance points is off, but Edwards is there to grab the rebound. Edwards falls down, and it's going to be a traveling. It's going to go the other way. A little sloppy possession there from Waterbury Career Academy. They got to tighten things up.
Substitution number 13 to number 20. Darryl Cook. 11 is also
A couple of changes into this game as Council's going to enter. Mateus throws it over to Parker, but he's off the board and he's going to go out of bounds. We're about a few minutes into this game, and both teams have been playing a little bit sloppy to start it off. Edwards loses the ball, and a foul is going to be called. Fouls is going to be on number 35, Justin Parker. His first personal foul and the second team foul for Wilby. Change is going to happen as Raekwon James enters the bench and Gio Cruz will enter the game. Lott to his right. There is Wahlberg. Wahlberg shoots a long three and it's no good. Mateus with a rebound. Cruz shoots a three and it's off. Rebound by Council. Edwards moves to his left. Edwards with the left-hand layup and it's good. His first points of the game. Hicks with the ball. Hicks throws it over to Parker. Parker over to Tripp. Tripp shoots a three, and it's no good. The ball is going to end up out of bounds, and it's going to be the Spartans' ball. Edwards into the game. Over to Lott. Lott steps back. Way too strong there, but Lazaro on the second chance points, but he's going to get fouled. The foul is going to be on number 23, Jonathan Mateus. It's the third team foul and the first personal foul for Mateus. Lazaro at the free throw line. He's able to make the first free throw. Lazaro on the second free throw attempt, and it's in and out. 1 and 2 at the free throw line. As Hicks does a nice spin there, shoots, and it's in and out. Tripp with the offensive board, and he can't get it there as Edwards grabs the rebound. Early in this game, Spartans with an 8-point lead, and a foul is going to be called, and it's going the other way. Offensive foul on number 1, Jonathan Edwards, and it will be Wilby's ball as they're down by 2 possessions, down by 4. As we approach 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, as Cruz shoots a long three, and it's way too strong there. That was a good effort by number 35, Justin Parker, but that's going to end up out of play, or out of bounds. Wilby has 3 team fouls. Spartans have only 1. Hightower in the game for the first time today. Hightower moves to his right. Bounce pass to Lazaro, and couldn't quite get it there. Hicks with the offense with the board, and Hicks loses the ball, and that's another turnover for the Wildcats. As on the other side, and the foul is going to be called. It will be against Jeremiah Tripp. And Lazaro will go back to the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 at the free throw line. On the first free throw attempt is good for for Lazaro. And Andres Arena will enter the game for the first time. At number 21, Lazaro on to shoot his second free throw. And he's able to make the second free throw. So 4 free throw attempts for the Spartans. And they're 3 of 4, 75%. Tripp with the ball, back to Arena. Spartans have an early 6-point lead. Cruz, that ball's gonna end up out of bounds off the hands of Lott, and it will be Wilby's ball once again. Cruz tried to pass it to Arena, but a lazy pass there. It was on the other side. The Spartans are able to get the turnover and the 2 points. That was Smith who shot the trip, loses the ball, and the Wildcats playing really sloppy there. They only have 4 points in this quarter. As Mateus on the other side is good. Jonathan Mateus cuts the lead in half, or cuts the deficit in half. They're down by 6. Lott with the ball. Lott moves to his right. He shoots right near the free throw line, and it's good for Lott. That's the first points of the game for Lott. Trip on the other side is no good. Rebound by Lott. Lott for 3, and it's off. Rebound attempt, and Wildcats trying to get there a lot. And once again, another bad pass and another turnover for the Wildcats. It's on the other side. They're able to grab that. That's Tripp with the right hand. It's good for the end one.
That's good for Jeremiah Tripp.
Jeremiah Tripp with a not a very easy shot, but he's able to get the and one. Jeremiah Tripp to shoot 1. Fouls on number 21 for Smith. And Tripp shoots, and it's off. Rebound by Hightower. And a whistle is going to be called, as there is 1:17 left in the opening quarter, just underway. Coombs will throw the ball inbound. Will be down by 6. A lot of not very good passing for the Wildcats as they face an early 6-point deficit. As on the other side is good on the second point or second chance effort for Edwards. And it's an 8-point lead as Arena on the other side can't finish the heavily contested shot there. Edwards with the ball. Bounce pass to Hightower. Edwards guarded really nicely by Arena, putting a lot of pressure on him. There's Lott on the double team, throws it over. Raekwon James almost snagged it as Smith can't get it there. Arena with the rebound. As Tripp on the other side, 23 seconds left. Tripp shoots and it was blocked, but Wilson was there to grab it. As on the other side, Parker gets blocked there. So on the same possession, they get blocked twice. Hightower over to Edwards. Edwards shoots a 3 and it's way off and it's going to go out of bounds. It will be Wildcats ball. Calvin Hicks will enter the game. Wilby's really got to tighten up their plays. They're throwing a lot of passes that ended up into the other team's hands. Hicks with 5 seconds left in the first quarter. Hicks drives in, left hand, and it's good for Calvin Hicks. And that will end the first quarter. Waterbury Career Academy with a 6-point lead. Both teams have been playing a little bit sloppy. Wildcats have been playing a little bit sloppier, hence the reason why they have a 6-point deficit. 10 points for Wilby, and 6 of them came from Calvin Hicks. interesting to see what the second quarter has in store. Definitely Wilby Wildcats there. Main thing what they got to do is that they really got to tighten up their passes and turn over the ball a lot less than they did in that first quarter. Once again, this is a presentation of DET Sports Media. My name is James Young. We thank you for joining us here from Wilby High School on a Wednesday night between the Spartans and the Wildcats. In the second quarter is 16-10 Spartans. Leading scorer for the Spartans is Lazaro, who has 5 points. He has 5 out of the 16 points. And the second quarter is underway as Wilby will start off with the ball. Hicks drives in, shoots, can't get it there. Ball is loose. Mateus on the other side is good. Jonathan Mateus will score the first points for Wilby in the second quarter. Edwards. Edwards moves to his right, now moves to his left, shoots over the Wahlberg. Edwards. Edwards with a really long pass over to Hightower on the other side as Wahlberg guarded really nicely by Hicks there. As Wilby playing a little bit aggressively on defense, and a shot attempt for Smith is good. James with the ball over to Arena. Arena over to Hicks. Hicks on a screen from Wilson is way too strong there and fighting for the ball, and it's going to be the Spartans' ball. Hightower with the ball over to Edwards. Edwards back to Hightower. Bounce pass over to Wahlberg on the double team. Pass is too high, and Raekwon James is able to steal it. It's going to be a turnover. It's on the other side. It's blocked by Edwards. Edwards got hit really hard on his back. He was kind of slow to get up, but he's able to walk it off. Spartans with the ball. Edwards over to Hightower, I should say. Back to Edwards. Edwards a really high pass to Hightower. And Lazaro shoots a three, and it's good. Lazaro with the three. And the Spartans are up by a touchdown. They're up by 7. Ran with the ball. Wilby passing the ball around is James. On a screen from Mateus. Raekwon James really drives it in and is able to get the basket and the foul. Foul's going to be on number 21 for Smith. It's the second personal foul. James will be at the free throw line to shoot one free throw. Raekwon James shoots, and it's in and out, but on the second chance, and couldn't quite get it there as the ball's tipped by Hicks. Tried to snag it away, but still will stay with the Spartans. Lott shoots, and it's good for Lott. Watt has 4 points after that last jumper. Wilby passing the ball around as Hicks over to Cruz. Cruz thought about it for a second, but there was too much defense there as Hicks really drives it in, but couldn't quite get it there as there was an air ball. Edwards over to Lott. Lott shoots. In and out. Mateus trying to grab the offensive board. Went off his hands and right back to the Spartans as on the other attempt is blocked. Hicks takes a second, and a travel is going to be called, and it's going the other way. Hightower. Over to Lott. Lott. There is Lazaro. Lazaro guarded heavily by Hicks. As Lott shoots and he can't get it there. Tripp with the rebound. Tripp moves to his right. Over to Hicks. Hicks. Nice behind the back pass. And there's Parker on the other side. And he can't finish there. Edwards with a really nice little soft pass, but Lott can't really get the handle of it. And it will be Wilby's ball. We're close to the halfway mark here in the second quarter. Wilby's scored only 6, while the Spartans have only scored 7. And a foul is called on number 3 for Lazaro. It's the 4th team foul, and Jeremiah Tripp will throw the ball in. Tripp looking for someone to pass it to. He passes over to Hicks. Hicks with the over-the-head pass. And there is Parker with the left hand, and can't finish there. Not a lot of baskets are going in for the Wildcats in the second quarter, as on the other side is going to be Hightower, who's going to make the basket. It's a 9-point Spartan lead. As Hicks moves to his left, drives in with the right hand, and he's going to get fouled. Foul is going to be on number 20. It's his first team foul, or first personal foul, I should say, and Hicks will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Hicks shoots the first free throw, and it's good. It's the first made free throw of the game for the Wildcats, as every free throw counts. And here comes the second free throw. As this second free throw will make it a 7-point deficit. And on the second free throw attempt is good for Hicks. So it's a perfect 2-2 at the line. Hightower moves to his left over to Edwards. Edwards with a really high pass. He's going to get fouled on that. For a second there, it looked like the ball was going to go into the basket. But instead, he will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Edwards on the first free throw attempt is no good as it goes in and out. And some substitutions are going to happen for Wilby as Hicks will exit and Arena enters. And here comes the second free throw attempt for Edwards, and it's in and out. So Edwards goes cold at the free throw line, going 0 for 2. As Tripp on the double team, and it worked out nicely as it's another turnover. Wahlberg over to Lott. Lott shoots a long 3, and it's no good there. But Edwards on the rebound effect, but instead, and it goes to Wilby's way as Arena with the ball falls down, but he's able to shoot it. Cruz with the 3, too short. And the ball's going to end up out of bounds, and it will be Wildcats ball, as right before he touched the line, he was able to touch the ball. Trip over to Parker. And there is Tripp with the right hand, can't finish there. Mateus with a bounce, and he's able to make it. Jonathan Mateus, his third basket of the game. He has 6. And Wilby's only down by 5. Edwards with the ball. Edwards moves to his right. Edwards, left hand, can't finish there. Ball is up, and a foul is going to be called. And the foul is going to be on number 11. It's going to be on council. 11 combined fouls for both teams. Parker over to Cruz. Cruz has the hot hand from 3, but he's trying to find something to get. As Tripp shoots a 3 right in the right wing. Can't finish there as Hightower gets, or Council is a rebound as Lazaro over to Lott. Lott had 3 defenders on him, and it is Council's 360. Can't finish the layup. Tripp thought about passing it, but he takes it in, and he can't finish there. And it is Wahlberg with the ball. Wahlberg over the Lott. Lott shoots in and out on the 3-pointer. And Arena is able to snag the rebound. As Arena pushing it, shoots at the free throw line, and it's good for Andres Arena. And Wilby's only down by 1 possession. They're down by 3. They were down by 6 to start off the second quarter. They have 1 minute and 21 seconds to either tie or take the lead. As a foul attempt is good. Yeah, and a chance for a 4-point play. And a foul like that will always cost you. That's why you got to be careful when a guy shoots a 3. So it's going to be Lazaro who's going to go to the free throw line. Currently has 6 points in the second quarter. Lazaro with 1 free throw attempt, and it's good. He's able to complete the 4-point play, and the Spartans have a 7-point lead. James over to Arena. Arena moves to his left, back to Raekwon James, who hasn't seen a lot of scoring efforts as Cruz shoots a 3, and it's good for Gio Cruz. His first 3-pointer of the game, and his first points of the game. And Wildcats are only down by 4 as we approach the final minute of the second quarter. Edwards over to Lazaro. Lazaro moves to his right of the wing. Lazaro passes over to Lott. Lott drives in, right hand, and is going to get fouled. Foul's going to be on Mateus. It's his second personal foul, and it's going to be free throws for Zion Lott. Lott will get ready to shoot 2 free throws. Lott on the first free throw attempt is out. Tripp will enter the game, and Mateus will enter the bench. Lott will get ready to shoot the second free throw. Looking to put his team up by 5, and it's out. But second chance effort as Edwards has the ball. 35 seconds left before we reach halftime. Edwards with the ball as we have 23 seconds left. Edwards over to Lazaro. Lazaro has 7 points in this quarter. He just made a 4-point play a couple possessions ago as Lazaro drives in. Left hand, he's going to get fouled, and he will go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul is going to be on number 11 for Jeremiah Tripp, his second personal foul. Lazaro is good at the free throw line at the first free throw attempt. A couple of changes for Wilby as Espino will enter and Tripp will exit. And Lazaro will get ready to shoot his second free throw. And the second free throw attempt is good for Lazaro. 6 of 7 at the free throw line for Lazaro. And 6 point lead. There's 3 seconds left. Over to Arena. Arena shoots with a prayer. He couldn't make it. But a foul will be there. And he will shoot 2 free throws. With 7/10 of a second to go, the foul will be on Lazaro. That is his second personal foul. And Arena makes the first free throw. And on the second free throw attempt is good for Arena. And on the third free throw attempt is out. So Arena's 2 out of 3 as Edwards on the other side. And that is going to do it as we get ready at halftime. Wilby is down by 4, and they played a little bit stronger in that second quarter. The turnovers were less, but they're down by 4 as we get ready for halftime. Stick around. It should be a very exciting second half underway. As we get ready to start the second half, as Wilby throws the ball in and automatically looked like the Spartans were able to snag it. And Wilby will start off the second half with a foul. Foul is on number 22. It's on Raekwon James. That's his first personal foul. And Spartans are able to grab possession of it. Because on the other side, another foul is going to happen. Check that. The last play was out of bounds as Wahlberg will throw it in over to Lazaro. Lazaro to the left of the key. Lazaro, the bounce pass over to Edwards. Over to Lazaro. Lazaro shoots in and out as Mateus was able to snag it out of the hands of Coombs as Hicks gets fouled. Almost loses it. Unfortunately, that basket will not count. And the foul is going to be on Jonathan Edwards. It's his second personal foul and the first foul for the Spartans. As there's Tripp with the ball over to Hicks. Hicks moves to his left over to Parker. James with a nice pass and a holding foul is going to be called. It will be against Lunt. Or check that, number 20 for Coombs. It's his second personal foul. Second team foul. Is a really high pass, and Raekwon James was able to get a hand on it. As Tripp's at the free throw line, and it's good for Jeremiah Tripp. Tripp has the first points of the game for the Wildcat, or the first game of the second half for the Wildcats. Lott with the ball over to the right side of the key. Lott moves to his left, shoots a long 3, and he can't get it there. Tripp with the rebound. Wilby's only down by 2 despite all this sloppy plays it has. As Tripp can't finish there. As Coombs over the head pass over to Edwards. Edwards with 2 defenders on him, and he still is able to make the basket. James with the ball, moves to his left. Little left hand and is able to make it. Raekwon James is able to grab the basket. And a timeout will be called. And a timeout for the Spartans. as they probably want to talk things over, as they really haven't had that big of a lead. The largest lead was at 7, but Wilby has been able to fight back, as the lead is for them is 2, while the Wildcats are trying to figure things out to have a clean second half, trying not to turn over the ball all that much. They started off with the second half with a turnover. Spartans are on the floor, and Wildcats will enter the court as well, and we'll resume the second half. Very fast-paced game. Edwards goes to almost near the center as Lazaro shoots a long 3, and it's good. Lazaro with a really good shot there as Hicks left hand, and it's good. And he has a chance for a 3-point play. Now foul will be on number 1 for Edwards. It's his 3rd personal foul.
Number 3.
Hicks at the free throw line. Perfect 2 of 2, and he will continue to be perfect at the free throw line. 3 of 3 in the game for him. So 2-point Spartan lead, as we'll be looking to go at 500. If they win, they will be at 500, and it will also be 500 for the league. Edwards over to Wahlberg. Wahlberg over to Edwards. Edwards moves to his right. It's a 2-3 zone for the Wildcats. Lazaro, another long 3, and this time he couldn't finish there as James grabs the board. James fires in, throws over to Parker. Parker drives in, right hand, and it's good for Justin Parker. And the game is tied. That's his first points of the game for him. And we have a brand new ball game. It's 36-36. Edwards moves to his right. And over to Lott. Lott shoots and can't finish there as Lott is able to grab his own board as Lazaro throws it over to Edwards. Edwards and got fooled by Mateus. And Wahlberg shoots a 3 and it's no good there. Lott is able to grab the board as Wilby has really have been doing that well on defense and on that shot. Hicks over to Tripp. Tripp shoots, can't finish there. Mateus almost grabbed it, but this time is grabbed by Parker with the left hand, and it's good. And the game is tied once again. Parker has 4. Wilby has 11 points in the 3rd quarter. Edwards. Edwards over to Wahlberg. Wahlberg over to Lazaro, shoots, can't finish. Chip with a great effort to get the rebound and a nice pass over to James. Looked like he was about to grab. But on the other side, Lazaro was able to snag it, and Wilby will grab the ball after the out of bounds. (38-38). Wildcats looking for the first lead since the first quarter. As Hicks throws it over to James. James over the Tripp. Tripp shoots. Can't finish. Mateus tried to grab the rebound, but it was snagged by Coombs. As on the other side is going to be Edwards with the Euro step and is able to bank it in. As on the other side is going to be Parker with a 360, can't finish. lot of missed layups for the Wildcats. They're able to bring it inside the paint, but they can't finish there. And speaking of can't finish there was another missed opportunity as Tripp grabs the board over to Hicks. Hicks trying to drive it in, and he's going to get fouled. Foul be on number 24. It's his first team foul, or first personal foul for Wahlberg. As Hicks will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Hicks at the first free throw is off. And a couple of changes for both teams. Hicks on the second free throw attempt is short, 0 of 2, but nice play by Parker to grab the rebound. Throws it over to Arena. Arena throws it over to Hicks. Hicks loses the ball. Instead of going out of bounds, it's going to be snagged by the Spartans. Hightower over to Lott. Lott shoots off. Parker with the rebound. Parker loses it, and a whistle is going to be called. And a timeout will be called by the Wildcats.
30-second timeout for the Wildcats.
As Wildcats try to think it over. Fix was able to make 2 of those free throws. The game would be tied. So they're going to think of a different game plan. And a very packed crowd here at Wilby High School between the Spartans and the Wilby Wildcats. Both teams have 3 wins. So there's 2:49 left in the third quarter, as Parker will throw the ball inbound. Wilby has scored 11 in the third, and the Spartans have only scored 7. So there's a 4-point differential in this third quarter. Parker over to Tripp. Tripp shoots a 3 and can't finish there. Wilby still looking for their first lead as Arena goes into the bench. And Spartans will grab possession of the ball. Hightower over to Council. As on the other side, and a foul is going to be called. And they will be shooting 2 free throws as it's going to be Council. Still looking for his first point of the game. And the foul will be on number 35 for Justin Parker. It's his second personal foul, and the second team foul for the Wildcats as Council makes the first basket. That's his first basket of the game for Council. And on the second free throw attempt is in and out. Wilson almost had the ball, and snagged by the Spartans. And on the other side, Council can't finish there. And Parker with the rebound. Parker drives in, loses it, and it's going to stay with the Wildcats. As the Spartans try to take it away, but it ends up out of bounds. As Arena throws the ball in on a bounce pass and another turnover. As on the other side, and that bounce pass also gets turnover. So the last bounce passes have resulted in turnovers. That third bounce pass didn't happen. Didn't lead to a turnover that time. It was, as a travel is going to be called, but Prado got hit hard. Council throws it in over to to Hightower. Prado over to Edwards. Edwards, the senior, over to Council. Bounce pass over to Smith. Spartans really passing the ball around. As that pass is going to end up out of play, but this time a foul is going to be called, as I thought it was going to end up out of bounds, but a last-minute foul happened. The foul is going to be on number 13. It's the 15th foul, and it's going to be on Prado. Hicks with the ball over to Arena. Hicks with a nice long pass to Cruz. Cruz shoots a three, and it's good for Gio Cruz. Second three, and the game is tied at 41-41 with 1 minute and 15 seconds. And a very close one, as that one is off the fingertips of Hicks, but still stays with the Spartans. Edwards over to Council. Council shoots, can't finish. Wilson grabs the rebound. As Arena loses the ball for a second, but Wilson, I should say, is able to still snag it, as there's less than a minute left, as Hicks gets fouled. And Hicks will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. His last 2 attempts at the free throw line, he missed it. He's looking to put his team up for the first time since the first quarter. Hicks will get ready to shoot 2. Hicks on the first free throw attempt is off. That's 3 straight free throws missed by Hicks. As we'll get ready to shoot the second free throw, or his second free throw attempt. Game is tied at 41-49, 49.3 seconds left. Hicks with a second free throw attempt. That one is an air ball. As he's obviously very disappointed in himself, who had the opportunity to give his team the lead, and he fell short. Spartans with the ball as they watch the lead get depleted. Smith over to Edwards. Edwards avoids the defense, shoots in and out, and Smith is able to grab the offensive board. That one he misses, and Hicks will grab the rebound. 23 seconds left as Hicks drives in. Left hand, it's good for Calvin Hicks, and the crowd gets erupted as Wilby takes the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Hightower with the ball, 5 seconds left. Over to Smith. Smith loses it, and it will stay with Wilby. And will go Wilby's ball. As Smith is obviously a little disappointed with himself that he tried to tie the game. And over to Hicks, 2 seconds left. Hicks loses it. Hicks shoots for the 3, and it's too strong there. But that will do it for the third quarter as the Wildcats come out with the lead here in the third quarter, as they really played very aggressively, able to get the shots in. Wildcats score 16 points in the third quarter compared to only 10 for the Spartans, as the Spartans are probably going to talk it over, trying to turn over the ball less, as both teams have really been turnovering the ball a lot in this game. As the Spartans cheerleader give a nice little cheer, as both teams are now talking it over. A loss for the Spartans will make them go below 500. The The next game for the Wilby Wildcats is at Crosby, and that will be next Wednesday on January the 22nd at Crosby High School. And for Waterbury Career Academy, their next game will be 2 days from now, where they will be at home against Oxford. Should be an exciting game. That is also a 7 o'clock time, as the fourth quarter is officially underway in a very close one, in a nail biter, as Lazaro shoots, and it's good. And the game is tied once again, as there's 7:35 left, as Cruz with the ball over to Hicks. Hicks throws it over the head, over to Tripp. Tripp looked like he tried to do a bullet pass, but he couldn't finish there, as on the other side, and it looked like they were trying to look for a foul there, as Lazaro goes behind the arc and he can't finish there. Tripp with the rebound. Over to Mateus. Mateus shoots over the Cruz. Cruz is wide open, shoots a three, and he can't get it there. Mateus on the board, and he loses, and he can't finish there. As ball is loose, both teams are really fighting for it. Hicks has the ball, and a timeout will be called. Oh, and a travel is going to be called, as Hicks was really looking for the timeout. And it looks like a traveling is called. It looks like there's some mixed efforts going on. You can see that both sides of the crowd weren't too fond of the events that just happened. It looked like that Hicks was trying to go for the timeout, but instead a traveling call was called against him, and the Spartans will gain possession of the ball. As Lott moves to his left, almost right near almost got the backcourt violation for a second, as Edwards guarded really nicely by Mateus, and because of that, it led to the traveling call. As Mateus is really proud of himself, very happy, trying to hype up this crowd. The game is tied at 43-43 with 6:29 left in regulation. Hicks, and over to Cruz. Cruz shoots a three, and it's good for Gio Cruz, the three-point machine. He has his third three-pointer of the game. He has 9, and Wilby's up by 3. As Edwards moves to his right. Tried to pass it over, but it's taken away as a turnover. As lazy passing by the Spartans have led. As Cruz tried to shoot another three, and that time is a little short. Lazaro drives in, loses the ball, and back-to-back turnovers for the Spartans. As on that side, that also leads to a turnover. As Mateus tried to throw it over to Parker, it was a little off. Looked like there was a little miscommunication between the two players. And Spartans will have possession of the ball, as the last 2 possessions have resulted in turnovers. Edwards moves to his left, over to the center, and a three. Can't finish. Off the fingertips of Tripp, leads into the hands of Parker. 5:29 left as Hicks over to Tripp. Tripp shoots, and it's good for Jeremiah Tripp. It's now a 5-point Wilby lead. It's the largest lead of the game so far, as Lazaro on the other side, and it goes up and out. And Wilby will gain possession. They have a 5-point lead with 5:07 left here in the fourth quarter. Hicks has the ball. So there's 5:02 left. Tripp. Back to Hicks. Over to Tripp. Back to Hicks. The crowd is energized as Hicks. And a blocking foul. Foul is on number 13 for Prado. It's his second personal foul. And it'll be 2 free throws for Hicks, who's gone ice cold at the free throw line. He's missed his last 4, looking to change his fortunes. Hicks is able to make it. As he looks to get ready for the second free throw attempt, as Wilby has a 6-point lead. Second free throw attempt for Hicks is good for Hicks. 2 of 2 at the free throw line after he missed his last 4. So Calvin Hicks has a little bit of confidence in him as Edwards drives in it over to Prado, and a foul is going to be called. It will be against Wilby. And a foul is on number 23, Jonathan Mateus, his 3rd personal. And at the free throw line is Prado. Prado shoots the first free throw attempt, and it's no good there. Prado at the second free throw attempt. And it's good for Prado. He's 1 of 2 at the free throw line. The Spartans are down by 6. As Hicks gets double teamed, throws it over the Cruz, and tried to do a fancy move, but it gets snatched up and swiped away. As Lazaro over to Lott. Lott shoots in and out, and Mateus grabs the board. We'll be having a 6-point lead. Hicks gets double teamed. And a timeout is going to be called for the Wildcats as they get the timeout they wanted. As a couple of possessions ago, Hicks tried to call for it, but instead of traveling was called. Second timeout for the Wildcats. Both teams try to talk it over. We'll be having the largest lead at 6. .410 left. And here we go as Hicks throws it over to Cruz. Cruz thought about it for a second, but the Spartans knowing that he's a 3-point threat. And Hicks, nice pass over the trip. Takes a couple of steps, but that was short, but Mateus is there to grab the board. As on the other side is Justin Parker. Justin Parker with the 2 points. And it's an 8-point lead, as we'll be looking to run away with this game. Wahlberg. And Tripp had it, and it's taken away by Cruz. As Cruz over to Hicks. Hicks shoots, and he can't get it there. But travel is going to be called, as he was looking for the foul, but it's going the Hightower with the ball over to Lott. Lott moves to his left. Shoots right near the free throw line and is short. As Hicks with a really fancy ball movement right there, as Cruz had 3 players on him. And it's passed over to Tripp. Tripp with a nice pass over to Mateus. Mateus throws it over to the other side as Cruz. Cruz shoots a 3, and it's good for Gio Cruz. His 4th 3-pointer of the game. And it's an 11-point Wilby lead, their largest lead, and a timeout will be called by the Spartans as they're really starting to struggle here in this second half. 3:01 left. Wilby has their largest lead of the game at 11. With a lot of confidence going their way in the second half. First half, they looked like they were losing their confidence, turning over the ball so much. They still do it, but this time they're playing with a lot of aggression. They're able to snag trying to snag the Spartans' chances at a W. There's still 3 minutes left, so anything can happen. But right now, Wilby is playing with a lot of confidence. Every shot is falling for them. And Spartans will have possession of the ball. So we have the final 3 minutes. We'll be having an 11-point lead. It's Hightower over to Lazaro. Lazaro steps back. Moves to his right. Over to Lott as Spartans are passing the ball around. On a screen attempt as it looked like Cruz was open there. Shoots and can't finish there. And there is Cruz who drives it in with the right hand. And it's good for Gio Cruz. And Wilby is on a little run of their own right now. First 2-pointer of the game for Cruz. He has 14. The ball is going to end up going out of bounds. Tripp with the ball over to Hicks. As we're close to the conclusion of this game. Is Tripp with a nice pass over to Mateus. Mateus shoots and can't finish there. Lazaro almost loses it. And a really nice defense by Parker. But a foul is going to be called against Justin Parker. It looked like he tried to snag it from behind. That is his third personal foul. Right now, Hicks leads the pack with 15 points as Lott can't finish. A lot of players trying to grab it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Wilby. Their defense has been really good in this second half, trying to snag every rebound, trying to prevent less second chance points opportunities. Hightower over to Edwards. Edwards on the double team. It's Tripp and Cruz as Edwards has to throw it over to Smith, and on the other side is going to Hightower. It's the second basket of the game. It's still an 11-point deficit as there's a minute and 37 seconds left as Cruz shoots a three. It's good for Gio Cruz. Gio Cruz has 5 threes and he has 17. As on the other side is going to be Lazaro who throws it into the basket. Lazaro leads the team as Mateus on the other side is good. Mateus has 8. Another basket and a turnover is going to be called and a foul is going to be called. It will be against Jonathan Mateus. That is his 4th personal. One more foul will lead him to an exit of this game. As Edwards has it. Edwards throws it in and it's good. Jonathan Edwards, as we have a minute left. And the ball's turned over. As Lott over to Edwards. Edwards shoots a 3. Is good. Jonathan Edwards, and it's a single-digit deficit now as the Spartans are trying to claw back with 47.3 seconds remaining. As both teams tried to talk it over, but Wilby, what a fourth quarter it was for them. They've really been able to come out on top. Largest lead of them was at 13. It's now down to a 9-point lead for Wilby. Once again, a win for them will go to 4-4, and it will be 2-2 at the league. So 500 for both for the record and the league. As both teams will enter as Tripp will throw the ball in. Tripp over to Hicks. So there's 45 seconds left as Raekwon James is back into the game. As Tripp throws it over to James, but he's able to snag it. And over to Hicks as there's 35 seconds left as the Spartans are really trying to snag the ball with them with 32 seconds left. And a foul is going to be called as Hightower will commit the foul. This is his first personal foul, and Calvin Hicks will go to the line. Hicks is 2 of 2 at the free throw line in the fourth quarter. .50% and on the first free throw attempt, and he can't make it there. Edwards with the ball over to Coombs, can't finish there, but a nice snag by Lazaro to grab the rebound, and he has a chance for a three-point play. And the foul will be on number 23 for Jonathan Mateus. He will exit because that's his fifth. Fifth personal, and he will exit. 19.8 seconds left as Spartans are down by 7. Now they're down by 6. As they don't want this comeback to end. As Tripp throws the ball in over to Raekwon James, over to Parker, and over to Cruz, who's wide open at the other basket, and is good. And that might have just sealed the deal for Wilby. As on the other side, Lott gets fouled, and he will have shoot 3. The foul will be on number 21, Gio Cruz. And Lott will go to the free throw line to shoot 3. If he makes all 3 points, Spartans will be down by 5. And anything can happen as Lott on the first free throw attempt is no good there. As we get ready for the second free throw attempt. On the second free throw attempt is good for Lott. And as we get ready for the third free throw attempt for Lott, and it bounces out, and Tripp will get fouled. So it goes 1 of 3 at the free throw line for Lott, and Tripp gets fouled. Tripp will go to the free throw line. Tripp on the free throw attempt is good. Spartans have 9 fouls in the second half as Tripp gets ready to shoot the second free throw, and he misses it as Tripp is able to get the basket. As Tripp misses the basket but is able to shoot on his own. It's on the other side, and that will do it here at Wilby High School. The Wilby Wildcats come out victorious with a 67-57 victory over the Waterbury Career Academy Spartans, and a win for the Wildcats puts them at 500 for both their record and the league record, while the Spartans fall to 3-4 and 2-4 at the league. For a presentation of DET Sports Media and James Yevon, we thank you for joining us here from Wilby High School. Once again, final score, Wilby 67 and Waterbury Career Academy 57. Good night, everybody.